Hello friends, in the present video we will understand the estimation of working capital requirement of the organization. This is the second video on working capital management. First video link which is made for introduction that will be shared in the link in the I button as well as in the description box. So in this video we will solve the one question, sorry, two questions I will solve of estimation of working capital. So based on the most important method, that is operating cycle method, right? So estimation of working capital. When you talk about the estimation of working capital, we have basically three methods of estimation of working capital. One is estimation of working capital is based on net sales, and estimation of working capital is based on total sales, and finally the third one is operating cycle method, which is the most significant method, that is important. So we'll take up this operating cycle method in this video. When you talk about the operating cycle method, what do you mean by this operating cycle method? Here we must understand that the working capital requirement of a firm depends to the maximum extent, the great extent, on the operating cycle of the firm. What do you mean by operating cycle? It may be defined as the most important, you just try to understand the time duration starting from the procurement, that is getting the raw material, to the goods or raw material. Suppose if it is a trading concern, we purchase the material in bulk quantity, will sell off. So only procurement of finished goods. If it is a manufacturing concern, then raw material. So procurement of material, that is starting point, and ends on with the sale realization, in the sense collection of money from the debtors. So it starts from the purchase of raw material or finished product, ends on collection and realization of amount of sales from debtors. So this cycle is called as is operating cycle. Always industries wanted to keep the minimum cycle so that they can do n number of times, more number of times, so that they can increase the profitability. The length and the nature of operating cycle may be differ from firm to another firm, one firm to another firm, depending upon the size and nature of the firm. Please bear in mind, here the length of the operating cycle may be defined, may be differ from organization to organization based on what nature of the and size of the organization, right? So the operating cycle of a firm consists of the time required for the completion of the chronological sequence of some or all of the following. In the sense, what, in order to complete the operating cycle, what we are about to discuss, these will be there. Some or all are there, right? Based on the what kind of an organization you have, whether it is a trading concern or manufacturing concern, right? So first, procurement of goods, that is raw material or finished product or services, whether on cash or on credit. If we purchase on cash, we will lose the cash. If we purchase on credit, creditors will be created. So second step, conversion of raw material into work in progress. This conversion of raw material into work in progress will be there in case of only manufacturing concerns. It will not be there in case of trading concerns. That you need to understand. All right. And the third one is sale of finished goods and for cash or credit. If we sell on cash, we will get the money. If we sell on credit, debtors will be created. That is, receivables will be created. And finally, conversion of receivables into cash, in the sense getting the money from the receivables, getting the money from the realizing the money from the debtors is the final one, right? So estimation of working capital requirement can be made by estimating the following. See, as we have discussed, it is not calculation of working capital. It is basically estimation. We are estimating what would be our probable expenditure on various areas, so that we must ensure that the organization should supposed to have that much of money to smoothen its operations, right? So this is all estimations, not calculation, right? Our estimations may be correct, may not be to that extent of accurate, right? So all these things possible, so that we are calling it as a estimation. Please bear in mind, When you talk about the estimation of working capital, the first we need to estimate what is the cash balance we require. That is cash or bank balance. How much we need for purchase of raw material, for payment to creditors, for payment of wages, salaries, or workers' salaries. Second, raw material. What is the quantity of raw material we require? How much already we have? How much quantity we need to purchase? Then work in progress. How much time the work in progress will be? What is the time length the material once started producing? How much time it will be taken for making a finished product? What will be the time applied? How much labor charges? How much overhead expenditure included in work in progress? Whenever you talk about working progress always includes wages and overhead expenses besides raw material cost. Finished goods, how much time duration we need to keep the finished goods in the stores, right? So how we can sell the material, what is the demand in the market, all these things we need to predict first. Then debtors and receivables, when we credit sell goods on credit basis, debtors and bills receivable will be created. How much time duration of credit period we must give, all those things, how we need to collect, when we can collect. Then discount even will be considered here. Then creditors for purchases, when we purchase material in the step 2 on credit basis, then we need to make the payment, whatever money realized from the debtors, that will be used to make the payment to creditors. So creditors for purchases. And finally, creditors for expenses and wages. Expenses refers to here overhead expenses, and wages refers to labor's wages. These will be incurred while the goods produce under work in progress. So these all things we need to estimate for estimation of working capital requirement of the organization. So estimation of working capital, this is one format we have prepared. So here the working capital requirement will be estimated. Current assets. Under current assets, first we'll take minimum cash balance what we require. Then inventories or stock. Under inventories, raw material, work in progress, finished goods. Whenever you talk about work in progress, here you require to have raw material, labor as well as overhead expenditure under working progress, right? So raw material, work in progress, finished goods. Then summation, then receivables, that is bills receivable as well as debtors. So all these are current assets. When you make the summation, the resultant figure we call it as gross working capital. From this gross working capital, what we will do, we will deduct the current liabilities. Current liabilities are here: creditors for purchases, creditors for wages, creditors for overhead expenditure, right? So these all creditors we will deduct. Once we deduct these creditors, resultant figure is called as working capital, right? So to this working capital we will add our safety margin, or even it is called as contingency. In the sense, what it is, estimation, as I told you, estimations may go wrong also. So in future maybe there is a change in the prices. Therefore what we will do, we will add certain margin amount, so that it will not be any difficulty for the organization if the prices or the labor charges changes, increases, right? So that is called as safety margin. Once we add safety margin or contingencies, the resultant figure is called as net working capital. So this is the table we use for solving the problems. Clear? Now we will take up two illustrations. Question number 1. You are required to prepare for the board of directors of Excel Company Limited a statement showing working capital need to finance a level of activity of 5,400 units of output per annum. So we need to estimate our working capital requirement for 5,400 units per annum. You are given the following information. The information pertaining to cost is given. Raw material 8 per unit, labor 2 per unit, overhead 6 per units. Total cost 8 2 plus 6 16 rupees is the total cost. Add profit margin 4 rupees, then selling price we will get 20 rupees. Then the further question says raw material in stock on average for 1 month. This is very important. So we are keeping always raw material in stock for average 1 month, material in process on average half month. So raw material once inserted in the machine, it will be in work in progress for average of half month. Credit allowed by supplier is 1 month. In the sense, creditors giving us credit period for 1 month. Finished goods are in stock on average for 6 weeks. We are keeping finished goods on average of 6 weeks in the godown. credit allowed to debtors, we are giving credit to debtors average 2 months. 2 months credit period we are giving. Then lag in payment of wages. So payment of wages will be made every 1.5 weeks, in the sense 1.5 weeks. Cash in hand and bank balance is expected to be rupees 7,300. You are required to inform that production is carried on evenly during the year and wages and overheads accrue similarly. Wages and overhead accrue similarly. So evenly production is taking place, right? So this is the question we have provided. For this we need to give the solution, in the sense we need to solve these problems. So we will proceed how to solve the problem. So again I have taken question for the quick review sake. Now we'll take up the solution. Solution, under solution we do estimation of working capital. So we have prepared a table, right? Estimation of working capital requirement. Then next, first we will take current assets. Under current assets, cash and bank balance. How much cash and bank balance? That is given in the question, that is 7,300 first. Then next, for calculation purpose, it is assumed. Here the assumptions are very important. What is the assumption that we are making? We are making, first assumption is 1 year is equals to 52 weeks for the calculation purpose, and then 1 month equals to 4 weeks, right? So these are the basic assumptions we made regarding time. 1 year is equals to 52 weeks, 1 month is equals to 4 weeks, whereas units per month is equals to 5400 units we are producing in a whole year, as the question says evenly throughout the year. So 5400 units divided by 12 months is equals to 450 units we are producing 1 month, right? So these are the basic assumptions that we need to make. Then number of units per week units. So 5400 divided by 52 weeks. Therefore we are making 103.85 units per week. So these are the basic assumptions and calculations. First we will do assumptions. Once it is done, we will proceed with the estimation of working capital, because cash and bank balance directly given we have written. So next item is raw material. So what is raw material price? 8 per unit. But what is the length of the raw material in average in stock? Average in stock for 1 month. Therefore the equation would be 450 units into 8. 450 units into 8. Why I have done 450 units? Because monthly production is 450 units and raw material in stock for 1 month. So 450 units into raw material price is 8. So what is the length of the material in stock? That is very important for calculation of working capital requirement, right? So then we will get 3600 raw material requirement, of amount required for raw material. The next one is work in progress. When you talk about work in progress, under that first one is material. Work in progress is half month, right? So when we are talking about half month, so 450 units per month, in the sense half, that is divided by 2, that is 225 units, and material price is 8. So working capital material will be 1800 under work in progress. Blockage of material of work in progress will be 1800 because it is half months. Then labor. So labor is how much? 225 units we are producing in half month, into labor charges is 2 per unit. Always what is this 50%, sir? 50% completion we understand. Always work in progress material is completed to the extent of 50%. Therefore labor charges we will take 50% only, unless otherwise anything is it is stated in the question. If question says 60%, 80%, 40%, then we will take that percent. If question is silent, then we will take 50%. Then it will be 225 units. So labor charges is equals to 225 units for half month production into 2 rupees into 50% completion status. So 225 rupees amount due to labors. Then overhead expenditure. In the same way, overhead is even 225 into 6 rupees is the overhead charges into 50% completed. Then 675. So the summation is 2700 related to work in progress. Clear? Once work in progress is done, next is finished goods. Finished goods directly it is given in the question. That is finished goods. What is the time length? Goods are in stock on average for 6 weeks, he said. So per week production is 103.85 units into 6 weeks into 16. Always goods should be taken at cost price. What is the cost price? 16. Finished goods will be at 16. So 103.85 units into 6 rupees per unit is the, sorry, 6 weeks, that is 6 is the weeks into 16 rupees is the cost price. The resultant figure is 9,968 is the material finished goods in stock. Once it is done, the final item is debtors. What did he say about the debtors? Regarding debtors, he said that the credit allowed to debtor is how much we are giving, 2 weeks. Therefore 450 units, sorry, credit allowed to debtor is 2 months. So 450 units into 2 months into 16 rupees. Here also we are taking cost price. Bear in mind, for calculation of debtors even we don't take selling price. Clear? So how much it comes to? 14,400. So these are all current assets, that is cash balance, raw material, work in progress, finished goods and debtors. The summation of these is gross working capital, right? So once the gross working capital is done, next is current liabilities. Under current liabilities, we must first take up creditors for material. So when we talk about the creditors for material, we are given credit period 1 month. Therefore 450 units into 8 rupees is the material cost. 450 into 8 is equals to 3,600 is the creditor for material. Then creditor for wages. For creditor for wages is 1.5 weeks as it is stated in the question. So 103.85 into 1.5 weeks into 2 rupees is the creditors, sorry, wages rupees are 2. So 103.85 into 1.5 into 2 rupees, we will get 312 rupees. Then summation is 3,912 rupees is the creditors, right? Once you deduct creditors, we will get the resultant figure 34,056. So this is called as our net working capital. So this is the basic procedure for calculation of working capital for manufacturing concern. This is for which type of organization? It is manufacturing concern, right? So I hope I made you understand. We'll take up one more question which is of trading concern nature. So if you see this question, the question says that prepare the estimation of working capital requirement from the following information of the trading concern. We have given projected annual sales are 1 lakh units, selling price 8 per unit, percentage of net profit on sales 25%. So selling price is given, sales percentage on net sales is 25%. So in order to find out the cost price, 8 minus 25%, 6 rupees will get. That is our cost price. Average credit period allowed by supplier 4 weeks, allowed to suppliers. Average credit period allowed by suppliers, creditors allowed to suppliers, that is debtors, 8 weeks. Average stock holding in terms of sales requirement is 12 weeks. Allow contingencies at the rate of 10%. Here contingencies word has been used, that is 10%. So we'll directly move to the answer. So we will do the solution. Same for calculation purpose, our assumptions are 1 year is equals to 52 weeks. Then cost price. How to calculate cost price? As I told you, 8 rupees is the selling price minus 25%. So these are the assumptions first we are making. Once it is made, these assumptions, then we will estimation of working capital table we have drawn, right? So bear in mind, this is not a manufacturing concern, it is just a trading organization, trading concern, right? So no work in progress, no raw material, direct material, finished goods. So current assets, under current assets, finished goods directly we are taking. How much finished goods? That is 1 lakh units into 6 into 12. What is this 6 rupees? 6 rupees is the cost price just now we calculated. So 1 lakh units into 6 rupees is the cost price into 12. What is this 12? That is 12 week of the holding of finished goods. average stock holding in terms of sales requirement is 12 weeks. Hold divided by 52 weeks, because 1 year is equals to 52 weeks, because 1 lakh is the annual consumption, annual pro sales. So we will get amount of 1,38,462. Once finished good is done, next is debtors. 1 lakh into 6 is the cost price, into 8 weeks we are giving debtors. How much time we are giving to debtors? 8 weeks. That whole divided by 52 weeks, right? Then we'll get 92,308. See why we are doing 52, please bear in mind this 1 lakh unit is annual sales. So directly first you will do either 1 lakh divided by 52, then 6 into 8, again the same. So directly I have kept the equation here, 1 lakh units annually into 6 weeks. 6 rupees is the cost price, and into 6 weeks we are uh, 8 weeks we are giving, right? Then divided by 52 I have done. Either way it is fine. So resultant figure is, summation will be, total summation is 2,30,770. This is called as gross working capital. When you talk about the gross working capital is done, now we need to deduct the current liabilities. When you talk about the current liabilities, only one liability, that is creditors. We don't have what we call labor charges and all overheads. Only creditors we have. So creditors comes to how much? 1 lakh units we are producing into 6 the cost price, into 4 weeks credit period allowed by suppliers, whole divided by 52. So 46,154. The summation is, after deducting this, 1,84,616 is the working capital. To this we are adding contingencies at the rate of 10% on 1,84,616. That comes to 18,462. Then the summation is made 2,03,078. This is our net working capital, right? So this is the basic difference between manufacturing and trading also. So I have taken two problems. One is manufacturing problem, another one is trading problems, to make you better clarity, to give you better clarity of understanding of the both the concepts. In case of manufacturing, we will be having work in progress, raw material, lag in payment of wages and overheads. Here we don't have all those things. We just have finished goods and debtors. We will be having creditors, right? So this is the basic way of doing the problems of working capital management. So see, this is the one more illustration I kept. Please try to solve. This is manufacturing concern, and try to work out with your own, and put the answer in comment box. I will give you the replay whether it is right or wrong, right? So try to work out, solve this problem in the meantime. So in the next video, the university level questions which I will take up, this is one of the university question which was asked in one of the university papers. So in that next video, which I will do in couple of days, there I will work out this problem. I will show you the answer. In the meantime, you try to solve the problem. Thank you very much for watching my video, and do subscribe my channel Mentor the Trusted Guide, and motivate me to make more qualitative videos. Thank you, and please do like, share and subscribe. This is most important, right? Thank you very much.